All right, we're live. I apologize. I had scheduled this for 11, and then the beautiful Miss Highboy found out she had to leave at 11:15. So, I wanted to, you know, be here for when she left. So she just left, and here we're live. So anyway, always lift your wives up. They're your best friends, right? So um, I hope we're live. Let me double check on my cell phone. Maybe something if I sat here and did an entire live stream, all for nothing, talking to myself. It's happened. You guys probably don't believe me on that, but it's happened. Um, Martin Siliker, Uncle Milty, Calvin Noble. Believe it or not, I'm not getting it. Can you guys hear me? My comments aren't moving on my screen, and my phone's not picking nothing up. So this is really bad. Hey, we got Bergen. I see comments coming up now. We got Tony C. I'm going to start my cell phone over. Maybe that's the problem. When in doubt, start your cell phone over. Okay, Walter says he hears me. Okay, very good. Very good. Um, all right. So here we go. We're ready to roll. So I just got everything switched over to this bench. I thought it would just be kind of a nice change, and the lighting is really good this way. So we got Calvin Noble, motor 953. Martin Siliker is on. All right, so I have to ask myself, what shell holder do I need to use? No, I don't. It's right there. It comes with the Lee 4-pack handgun die set. Now, in the link below, in the description box below, you're going to see all the links for the equipment that I'm using. Okay, I linked the Lee dies. Mine are the older ones. This is how they used to package them. The difference with their dies is I have to grab something here. Over here, I have all of my Lee crimp dies. And no, I'm not ready. I'm always going a million miles an hour, but that's okay. So on the link below, you get the 4-die set, which includes the Lee factory crimp. So that's what I have here. Essentially, this die set and the Lee factory crimp. Now, in the day when you bought this, the idea was that when you walked out with your dies, you were ready to go. You had your dipper for dipping your powder. You had your dies and your seat die. Could also that has the roll crimp feature for the 44 mag, or if you have 44, I don't 44 mag, 44 special, it will do both, right? Now in their 4-die, you also get the crimp, so you got the whole works, right? So that's how that works. So what I got to do, we're gonna convert this priming system setup over, and I have to grab something here. I have to grab the correct priming tube. I'll set that over there. And I need to grab a couple Allen wrenches. So I shall return. I'll return with the goods, and I want to put this up so I don't lose it. I hope everybody's having a very good day. You're all really awesome. And All right. Where we go? There we go. You're like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Just leave? Well, kinda. Okay, I better get my primer, flip tray, and also better get a couple Allen wrenches, and I need this, the large priming cup. I'm going to go ahead and swap the priming system over right now. So in getting this set up, the first thing that I have to do is I have to get the priming system set up, and I've been playing with this thing, going back and forth. It's really easy. This is how I do this, and I already did it wrong in a way, but I didn't. Before you take this off, make sure you leave your shell holder on. So if you are running with this Lyman All-American 8, before you take the priming system apart, leave your shell holder on. And I'll show you why. Push this forward like that. Drop the round, or the round. Drop the shell plate over it. Let me get you up here where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So you see I've removed everything. All that's left is this right here. Okay. So I'm going to raise my ram a little bit. And I'm going to just run the primer cup forward and drop the shell plate over it. Now I can just work on everything right here. That's kind of the technique I've arrived at. I've just been running this press all week, and I've done 9mm, 45 auto, and then went back to some more 9mm, and now I'm going to go from this small priming system over to the large, and we're going to run some 44 mag. And I know exactly how this priming system is going to run. It's going to run great. So as you see, I'm removing all three of these screws. And when I get them out, that shell holder that's locked into the ram, it's going to hold this assembly just like that. It's not going to go nowhere. So now what I can do, I can just kind of raise the ram, break it loose. You may want to or may not want to move your primer cup. I don't really have, I've only got one primer in there. It's no big deal. So this is how I do this, okay? Kind of, I'm going to drop this down because I have to have my leverage to me. I kind of grab it like this to where I can run this with my thumb, okay? Don't take that set screw all the way out, okay? Just all you do is unsnug it enough that you can depress the primer cup, set the primer cup aside. Now, since we're going to large, I'm going to place the large primer cup into it. And now I got to show you guys this. You see the flat side? That flat side, you need to have it facing towards that screw. Now, just retain it with your thumb like that. As you are turning that screw against that flat side, you'll feel that little cup turn against your thumb. Tighten it down, you're good to go. Now, what I do, once again, Extend it all the way out like that. Just like that. It won't go nowhere. And then if you look, you have this part here that you're going to mate up into that groove. So it goes something like this. And you can be clumsy, it's okay. If I was making a video, it would go together really easy, okay? All right, so I got it pretty close. So now what we're gonna do is only start these. And don't cross thread this because this piece is sitting on here kind of crooked. I'm at a disadvantage because if I could, I would be standing exactly where my camcorder's at. Okay, so bear with me, I'll get this. Okay, there's my first one. Once we get all three of these started, then we can take it off of the ram and that bracket will line right up with that machined groove. Okay, they're all started, so now kind of support that, raise the ram up, let that return, and now you can just make that up there like that, and it's ready to be tightened up. One thing is this sticks out so far. Once you have it mated up, then you can push that back in like that. Get her snugged up. I need to get one of those hex tools with the hand driver that's longer, and then I could leave that the handle, the priming ram handle, extended out while I tighten it. There's one thing you're going to have to do, and I'll show you this. Okay, I'm snugging these up. Don't over tighten them. At no time while you're threading these in should the threads feel like they're working against each other. You're cross threading it. Don't do that. So now what you're going to have to do is once that's off, once you take that out from under the ram, make sure that this is still on solid and it's flush with the press, and we're good. So we have our shell holder in there like that. So now we're ready to start setting our dies up. And these dies, they're not dirty, but I could probably spray them out with some kind of action cleaner. So my first one, I'm going to get it started just like that. And I need to grab, hang on, in my toolbox, I have a 1 1/8 inch wrench. I really like Lee dies. I like how they do their lock rings. So I'm going to run now I got to move my handle. I'm going to run the shell holder all the way up. We're going to run this die down just until we're touching that shell holder, okay? Okay, now, you know that you don't want to have cam over on a carbide die, except on a turret set up like this. We want to have a little cam over, so this turret head will just tilt back, so it's machined for so it's set up for its perfect 90. So I'm just going to put a little cam over, just enough. I can see my tool head rocking back. Because if we don't do that, then this tool head's going to be in an angle. It'll be kind of like this, so to speak, instead of up here. We don't want that. But what you don't want on your cam over is any forceful cam over. I think that's a pretty good way to say it. So now we'll take our lock ring, just hand tighten it down like that, and then just take the box end of a 1 1/8 inch wrench, and just like that. You don't This isn't going to take a whole lot on this. So we now have this the resize set up. Let's run one through it. Here we have our cartridge case, and I'm gonna, just so we have an understanding of what we're doing. So these have been previously fired. I'm going to go ahead and measure it at 1.268. 0.458. .450. We went the other way. I think it was a little bit out of round. That's what I think. So 0.453, 456. You're going to find that on average, you're going to size your cases down somewhere around 5 thousandths in that neighborhood. Okay, so there we go. So we now have our resized die set up just the way we need it. Now we're ready to expand the mouth of the case. So we're going to take the expander. This is set up for a through expander. I like how Lee does that. Basically, all their dies, they're manufactured to where you can use them on any single stage press, and you want to flip them over onto their progressives, you can use them. So now, so we just measured that case mouth at 0.450. We're going to expand this case mouth about 10 thousandths over. But like yesterday's live stream, I was talking about on our 44 mag, we only want to budge this just enough. So we're just going to open it up to where that bullet will set into there. So let's go ahead and put our cartridge case into there. And we're going to run it down. So right there. You're going to just keep feeling the mouth of that cartridge case for a little bit of a flare. And my hands are backwards here. It's all good. So once you get to a point where you're kind of curious, I can tell you right now we're only setting the neck tension. We're at 455. There we go. I might have overdone it on that one. No, I didn't. 0.459. That's perfect. That's like right at 10 thousandths there. Let's see how our bullet fits into our, okay, just like that. Okay. So there we have it. So actually on the Lee die, they claim that you really can't overbill the mouth of that case. I've never tried it, and I suppose we could, but just know you want about 10 thousandths over. So we're going to run the case up to there. We're going to work this lock ring down. So now we have our resize die set up and our expander die. Now I'm going to do something a little different. Okay, just a little snug. What I'm going to do that's a little different is usually I make the dummy round, okay, but we're not going to do it that way today. I'm going to go straight through making my rounds live. But one thing that I am going to do, is I'm going to leave my priming system off the press or disabled until we are ready to go. So what I'm going to do for right now is I'm going to just put one primer into the primer cup by hand, and then I've primed my case. You want to make sure that that primer is past flush, and make sure you don't have any indentation. You don't want any debris on the top of that cup. If there is, get a little air nozzle, little air pressure, blow it out. Okay. So there we go. Now I'm going to kind of move the chair. I gotta reposition you guys now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get a case all charged here. I'm going to get I have my powder measure. This is set for 24.2 grains of ram shot enforcer. That's what that's set up for. So what I'm going to do, I'm not really going to show you too much about this. I might do a live stream just adjusting powder measures, and I'll put this one in there. Guys, let me know if you'd like to see a live stream like that. I'll look at the comments like that after I set this, but I'm going to set this up for 24.2. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to kind of, this is a very unique scale. I would never, okay, look at the comments. Okay, so I'm just looking at the comments there. One thing about this little Lee safety scale, one, if you drop it and you break that little thing in there, that's like Formica. It's broke. Some scales, if you drop them and you bend things, you wouldn't know that it's off. This is set up where if you break that, it breaks and it won't work. So there's nothing bent that could be off. And then how this works, okay, I can off adjust this crazy thing all I want. Now watch this. That is awesome. That is just awesome. I love this scale because of that. So now what we can do is we can come over here. Where's my prime case? And I can go ahead and charge my case. Now we got powder and primer in the mix. Be careful. Now we're going to take this this seat die here. take your seat stem or your seat plug all the way out, run your die in, and just for right now, let's go ahead and remove the cartridge case out, the one that we have charged, and put an empty case in the shell holder that's not sized. Run it all the way up, and you're not going to feel any interference. It's not touching anything. So now we're going to run this down. I'm touching. Once you're touching the mouth of the case, then let's back it out, say about 1/4. And we're going to run this lock ring down, okay? Once you have your lock ring down, take that box end of your 1 1/8" wrench, hold the die, and just snug the lock ring up. You don't have to torque on it. Now make sure that you're still not touching anything. Now we're going to take this seat stem, get it threaded in there, just like that. Now we're going to take our charged case. Now look into the case, make sure it's charged. Make sure you're not grabbing the wrong case. Put it in there like that. And now we're going to take one of our Hornady bullets. Here we go. This is the Hornady 44 caliber, 200 grain XTP. This is inventory number 4410. That's what that is. Okay, this is a very hard-hitting bullet and great expansion. You'll love it. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to take the bullet. I'm just going to set it into the case, just like that. Remember, that case is expanded enough that you shouldn't feel that bullet shaving at all. Now, okay, I'm pretty much right there. That stem is just coming down, touching the nose of the bullet, okay? Just drop the ram a little bit. Maybe a turn and a half, and let's pull it out. So now we're soft seated. Okay. So we got Mommy Smallest. Laugh out loud. This cork sniffer loving POS Lee Scout. That's funny. He calls me a cork sniffer. You guys want to know something funny? I know who he is. He is the owner of a business. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly who he is. And if he keeps it up, I'm going to take all that information he sent me about dogging all the other channels and all the other companies, and I will make a video and I will expose that individual right there. You want to start in on me? I'm going to tell all the viewers something y'all don't know. Let's get real quick. About 3 years ago on my channel, when I started live streaming, shortly into, I'm not going to get into it. All I'm going to tell you is this: a cork sniffer would be someone that would open it up and just look at it and chuck it without looking at the entirety of it. Okay. It's kind of funny because I just load with what I have. And so we get a guy like this. And so now what this guy's done, there's a lot of channels that don't know this, but this guy has went in and he's dubbed me as a snob. So this guy, dubbing me a corp, yeah, you come on one more time. I'll do a video just for you. He doesn't know it, but I know who he is. Okay, so now, I just hate drama. So now this is what we're going to do. We've soft seated our bullet. I'm going to run this down until I'm just on the bottom of the cannula. I'm going to show you guys what I mean. Okay, this is for illustrations. No, we don't, Michael, do we? We don't need that. Okay. You see where we're at the base of that cannula, if that will focus in. The reason I stress this is this gets brought up a lot. You know, how deep do you want to seat the bullet? Hopefully that'll focus in there. Too much light glaring. Okay, see that? That's the base of your cannula. You want the mouth of that case on the upper 90% of that cannula. You could be 50, that's fine. You could be 40, that's fine. Anywhere above is fine, but somewhere around 90, 80, right in there, because you want a real nice roll crimp coming off of this, okay? So now what I'm going to do is see that? Because now when we crimp that, if this is the bullet and this hand's the case, if you're barely above, you don't have much room to really roll it. But if you can extend it, now you get a good roll on it, okay? So that's how you want that. Now, our cartridge overall length is 1.6, okay? 1.6. Now, yeah, on yesterday's live stream, I nailed that. Okay. Okay. Merton Siliker says, hi, boy, why not just measure length and adjust? That's funny. I was just getting ready to answer that question. By me looking at that cannula and dialing it in, that's where I automatically came to. But the reason that I don't measure and then adjust is because not all cartridge cases are the same length. And I have two cartridge cases. No, Merton, that was a very inquisitive question. You're paying attention. I love it. I love those questions. So I purposely set these. Actually, you asked like the question of the episode here, because watch this. That case is 1.282. That's a 44 Magnum case. Look at this case. 1.256. So if you were to seat that off of the length, if it's too tall of a case you might overshoot your cantilever. So I always adjust to eyesight of the cantilever, and that's what dictates that. Because sometimes if that book's calling for 1.6, you're not going to load it for 1.6. You might be 1. 605 or 1.5, 95, something like that. Okay. So no need to ever apologize. That's my kind of question, brother. No, you're not in foul at all. So now we have this die set up. Yeah, easy enough. And now we're going to do our crimp die. And the Lee factory crimp, it is one of the best ones you can get. I like the Redding taper crimp because it's so easy to set up. But technically, for someone learning and long term, this is not a bad way to go. This die, it is set up to resize, but it's set up to resize in the way that if you wrinkle the cases, it'll pull it out for you. Okay. Doesn't mean you're always going to touch the case. It's only if you tend to wrinkle one. So it will actually save your bacon. Okay. The other thing is if you have a case that's out of the cantilever, don't worry about it. This will actually create a crimp groove in the bullet and you'll get it crimped. So don't worry about that. Okay. So we're going to remove the cartridge case, set it aside. Don't get it mixed up with any others. And now we're going to take this, just like we're setting a regular resize die up. We're gonna run this down all the way to where, just like on a regular resize, we're gonna set it up so see how we're touching? And normally, we don't want cam over, but on this, to absorb the cam over on the turret head here, just a little. Just a little is just fine, in my opinion. Now we're gonna, okay, so I don't know if you guys have ever read the instructions for the Lee factory die. I'm gonna read these. Maybe yes, determining seat depth is different for semi-autos. That's right, Walter. Okay, I'm going to go by the instructions because this will help you. The Lee carbide factory crimp. Yeah, this doesn't seat the bullet. Okay, the bullet should be seated, which it is. So I'm going to step 2. Go to step 2. Just bypass all that. Screw the die in until it touches the shell holder. All right, so here we go. Screw it in until we touch the shell holder. Okay. Now, they're assuming you've got a single stage press, but we got a turret. So for your turret, run it down just a little more, not much. You don't want to crack that carbide ring. Now, finger tighten the lock ring, and this is an interesting one. Lee says just finger tighten them. That's why when I say if you get a big wrench like this, just snug it. They got that O-ring under there. You don't need to go any further. Once set, it will never move as the lock ring to both the die and press. Always remove the die by turning on the lock ring to loosen. Okay, little common sense. Now, with the loaded round in the die, there. Okay, before we go any further, adjust this up. All right, and you can take it out if you want. So it says with the loaded round in the die. There's the die. Why did it go? Because that mouth is expanded and we have a carbide resized ring on the base of that. So it's pushing that down. Then move the cartridge out of the die slightly and screw the adjustment screw, one half. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to run this down now until we make contact. And now what we're going to do is Lee's saying half turn for a light crimp. One turn for a heavy. Okay. We now have our completed round. So once again, on this Lee crimp, okay, on the instructions, if I remember right, I'm going to read this. As the case is sized as it enters the die, and again, as it is pulled out of the die. So remember over here, we resized our cartridge case, right? But over here, it sizes it, right? And then when you pull it out, it resizes it again. This assures you every case will freely chamber in any standard gun. Don't expect the carbide sizer to touch every case. It is a fail-safe tool for the occasional bad round that could ruin your day. Okay, so not every case is going to drag like all the other cases. Here's one for you. If something happens, you have a case that's a little shorter, all right, and so you don't get enough mouth expansion. When you seat the bullet, you can put little waves in that, and that's not going to chamber in your revolver. This is going to remove those out. But so you're not going to have every cartridge that way. So now that we've done that, okay, can you use a medium crimp as well? This is what I do. I'm running a pretty healthy charge of Enforcer. When I'm just doing target loads, minimal recoil, I go a light crimp. Once I start getting into the heavier loads, then I go ahead and get me a heavier crimp going. And on your crimp, remember this, okay? This is how you know if you have the right amount of crimp. So this is our first one off the line, and we're at 1.597. And after you crimp it, it can shorten it up a little bit. That's okay. So we're at 1.597, okay? So on this cartridge, this is what I would do. Let me grab something for you. I would mark it. Mark this one. So you're going to go to the range. You're going to load all 6 into the cylinders, but this will be the last one, okay? You're going to fire 5, but you're not going to fire this one. Take it out and measure it. What's its length? If it's the same, load it back in there as the last one, but don't fire it. You should be able to go through 3 cylinderfuls and not have that baby budge. And if it's on a revolver, it will lengthen on you. So if they start lengthening in your revolver, that's how you know you need more of a crimp. Okay. So okay. So here we go. We are ready to rock and roll. Except this is just kind of me. This is me, guys. Once I have everything set up, like yesterday after my live stream, I kind of cleaned up. And I always go to the extreme of putting everything together properly. This is, guys go, man, how do you keep things so clean? Once I'm ready to roll, I clean everything up. And that is truly my personal way of doing it. And so, you know, I got my calipers handy. I'm going to move my mouse out of the way. I don't need it. Okay, I'm going to put this case back up. This is for my that's for my Lee crimp die. I'm going to put that up. I get everything kind of tidied up. And the other thing that I do, this is personally what I do, while I'm doing this, I'm thinking, did I get everything that I need? So I got everything put up. I'm organized. It's clean, not messy. And now I'm ready to go ahead and do some reloading. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. I need 10 more because I have 19 left to go. I just want 19 primers. So there's always that one stubborn one. Come on. Come on. Oh, that's okay. Okay, this is funny. You guys are going to laugh. My primer pickup tube, it doesn't like to pick them up too easy. I'll get a hold of Lyman. They'll send me another one out. I don't get all bent out of shape over that kind of stuff. So put my lid on there. And now, man, they just want to keep falling out. Isn't that something? They don't stay in there. I'm going to pinch this tube a little. Hang on. This is dangerous. This could end the live stream because if I pinch it too much, then I might not be able to get them in there. Aha! Look at that. Man, I don't even have to call them now. I don't like to, you know, I don't like to beat companies up. Oh, they messed up, and you know what? These companies right now, especially in the trying times we have with finding help, they're really under a lot of stress. So if there's something I can do to step up and make it a little better, by golly, I'll do it. Because it's kind of fun anyway, you know? There we go. $19 primers. Okay, don't lose your. Now, before I go, I put this up. That's how I fly, man. That's really how I fly, right there. So now we have 20 of these bad boys. Oh, I know what I forgot. Ta-da! I need this. See, if you guys ever struggle with something, you're not the only one. There we go. There we go. Off and running. Come on. You can do it. There we go. A little train that could, huh? You can do it. There we go. There's our last one. Okay, so we've got everything primed, just like that. Now, what we're ready to do is we're ready to come over here. Charge all of our cases. I'm going to move that handle so you guys can see. So now what we want to do, our powder has been sitting for a few minutes. Always uniform your powder. So if you guys that is awesome. Perfect. There we go. There we go. Now, what you can do after your last one is verify your charge. I don't. On my reading, I know exactly how it throws. I know exactly how it holds. I know it's full. The hopper's full. One thing you want to be aware of is when you fill your powder hopper, when you're here with your powder, you make sure that none of your paper flakes fall off into that. Okay, those are the kind of things that will bite you. So now, stay tuned. We're going to talk about the cork sniffer thing. Not that we're going to give this bozo any good attention, but we'll talk a little bit about the cork sniffer thing here. And dump those bullets out. Okay, now before I seat those, where's my flashlight? Hang on. I have a message for you guys after we get done here. Oh, it's going to be such a great message. Great message. Here we go. I'm trying to see if you guys can see all this. Okay, hang on, guys. I'm going to do something so I'm not reaching in front of you. I'm going to take these bullets and I'm going to grab a handful. I'm going to put them right behind me so I'm not reaching in front of your view. There we go. Much better. Oop. That's why it's a really smart idea. Once you make your last position on the turret, go right back. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, you see how I go like this and I go like that? Well, what will bite you is if you do this. You leave the turret in the old position, and because now you're going to ram it up in the crimp and you pass the seat. So this is how you do it. Watch this. Now return it, then pull the cartridge case. There we go. What I'm gonna do is after we seat all these, seat and crimp, let's take the calipers and let's look at some cartridge lengths on these. So that way it kind of gives the viewers an idea of what to expect. That way, like real world, right? Like that last one we seated at 1.597. So in your mind, new reloaders are like, well, Are all of them going to be like that? Well, we're going to take a look, and I'll show you now. You see that one was rougher than the last. It's because it might have been, that case might have been a little longer than some previous, so it had more of an expansion on the mouth. Okay. So I'm going to have a question I'm going to ask you guys after I see this last one. Aren't those beautiful? But that's not the question. Here's the question. So like when you're reloading and you're doing this, let's just say here's your bullets, okay? I'm going to try and set a scenario up so the viewers can kind of understand. You do understand that your mind, they can't even tell you how fast the human mind talks. We as humans can say so many words a minute, but your mind is, they can't even measure it. Because we think in terms of concepts. We can explain a concept to ourselves versus an entire sentence to someone else. That's the art of being a good speaker, is being able to run ahead in your speech and put things together in concepts and real time put them out in words. So now come to your, I've talked with guys about this because they get frustrated, but you're totally normal. There's nothing wrong with this. If you back up and you watched as I was seating, because I took my bullets from here to behind me, I kept wanting to go to here. But then I would begin messing up and grabbing other things. And it's because your mind is ahead of your hands and your hands trying to catch up. What's the moral of the story? If you want to put a lot of rounds out an hour, the way you do it isn't fast. The way you do it is methodical. Your mind, I just said, puts things together through concepts. If you're going to take this press and you're going to put X amount of rounds an hour out, then in a very slow fashion, you're going to do every step the same. You're going to always return that handle back before you pull the case off from resize. You're always going to seat your bullet, crimp, and return it back before you pull the case after you crimp it. And that's why I've talked to a lot of guys when one of the hardest things on my channel was when I had the Dillon 550, going back and forth from that, and then onto my 650, and then my T7 turret. My hands are doing this, but my mind knew exactly where I needed to be. So by the time my mind is 3 steps ahead, I'm like, oh, and then I get my hand in the next position where it should be. So you are perfectly normal if you find yourself. That's one reason I do live streams. I can make a video, and I can make it smooth. If you want a smooth video with no mistakes, I will do that. The problem is then new viewers, they're like, oh, I don't get it, man. I'm not fast like that. I'm not fluid like that. So in live streams, I will tell you, well, good for you, because neither am I. Okay. In our world that we live in, we have an overabundance of information, but there's one bit of information we don't have, and that's reality. So we can watch a video of some dude putting all this ammo out, and we might try to do that, and then we're clumsy. When he never stopped to say, that's not reality. I really kind of filmed that to make it look that way. So with that, let's talk a little bit reality. One of the biggest things I get from guys is they'll say, man, my cartridge over, let's take this cartridge as an example. Someone might say, my cartridge overall length should be 1.6. And I set it up for 1.6 and I'm all over the place. Well, 1.595. 1.595, that's pretty good. 1.594. I better show you guys this because you're not going to believe me. Okay, I'm going to point some things out for you. Okay, let's start back here. Okay, there's a 1.595. Okay, there's your 1.595. Pretty nice looking crimp there. It's a roll crimp. 1.595. That's a pretty nice looking roll crimp. That's not too shabby. 1.594. 95. 90. Why? Well, probably because they make these bullets. They're zigging them out a million miles an hour. 96. 94. 91. 93. I remember a long time ago when my channel, when I first started it, I'm a Hornady lock and load, this exact same bullet, except I used this XTP, but it was a 240 grain. I'll never forget the video. I was showing guys that my bullets were just coming out like literally within thousandths off that progressive press. They couldn't believe it. This is almost 1.9, 1.60. So see, we're seeing a 6,000 spread on these. But anyway, they were like, man, how do you do that? Well, I don't know how you don't do that, but anyway, there we got an 8,000 spread so far. So now if you're loading these up and you're not to the very thousandths, go shoot them. Go have a good time, right? And if you were to write all these numbers down, add them up, and then divide by the number of numbers, then you would find what your average is. That's like the first one or two that we did. Oh, I could be wrong on that. That's the first one we did. Okay, so we got, you know, 8 thousandths, 9, 10 thousandths spread on those. We're going to get in trouble if you are if you are, let's say you want 1.6 and you're like, man, I'm not exactly 1.6, I'm all over the place. You'd rather be a little short than a little long. When you're a little long, that's when maybe it's not going to rotate in the cylinder, or maybe it's not going to chamber in your pistol. So, but past that, when you see that devance of 10 thousandths, it came off the same die. Just run with it, okay? So I'm just kind of looking at the so we had during the live stream our cork sniffer guy, you know, he graced us with his presence, and right now he's like, oh yeah, they're gonna talk about me, and it's like his limelight. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys a little something. A cork sniffer, that's kind of, he's being an oxymoron. A cork sniffer would be someone that would say, oh, look at the Lee safety scale. I wouldn't use that. So he's calling me a cork sniffer, yet he doesn't like it, and he's referring to it as a POS. Well, now wait. In all the videos I've done with that, I've got that to work, and I just got it to work on my live stream. Okay. So I guess my question is who is the cork sniffer? Now, I have a good idea who he is, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. He's got multiple accounts on YouTube. That's what he does. But now I'm going to just give you guys some information that you need to follow my channel, because I got some more equipment coming on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And my wife, we got the approval that financially for retirement, man, we're dialed in. House paid off, and we paid the house off beginning of 2020. We were good with our money, but now I got the approval. So it's like, my wife's like, well, what do you want to do with the channel? Where do you want to go? What would you like to do? I don't want to be a product review, because I think a product review is like, what I have to say about something might not be what someone else wants to say. And but there's a lot of good equipment out there, and it comes in all sorts of colors, like, you know, red, and another one would be red, and another one would be black. I thought about bringing that one on. And so yeah, so this guy that's calling me like a cork sniffer is kind of like, whatever. Now I want to tell you guys something. What's that country song? Every time you run my name down, my price goes up, baby. So I just wanted to thank him. I'm going to increase my, I'm going to make the comments where I can read them, and because I think you guys are going to have some awesome comments. It's about what works for, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is what I do. My goal is just to take the equipment and show you how it works. And it gives me a chance to have a pretty cool channel. I think it's a pretty cool channel. And the best part is that I get to meet so many people. And one thing that's always came through in my life is when you have one person that doesn't like you, get ready. There's going to be 100 that really do. And when I started my channel, I knew something. Not everybody's going to like you. I would not expect everyone to like me. I suppose if I had two me's, I wouldn't like me. I think me and Walter, we had that conversation once, you know, but it's kind of like my channel is just here for, if I can help you, I will. And so I would like to broaden my, you know, what I'm doing. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It's just fun. I know something when I buy this reloading equipment. Am I going to ever get my money back? I don't know, but it's a fun journey. It really is. What guy that's mechanical wouldn't want to have another piece of equipment to load one of his favorite calibers or a new caliber on, and then just share that with people, you know? And Info Brother says, I am so slow and methodical that I can only work in small batches anyway. A batch of 100 can take all day depending on where I start in the morning. And that's perfect because that's going to be a very precise. Tony Info Brothers, he's never going to destroy a gun or hurt himself. He's always going to have the best, you know. And Critter, he doesn't like anyone very much at all. I'll tell you what Critter likes. He likes animals. I'm with you, Critter. I like dogs better than most people, right? No, actually, so um, I'm going to tell you this. When you have someone like Joe Cork Sniffer come along and starts insulting you, don't ever let it get you down. I'll tell you why. Because that is what fuels me. I don't know how you guys are, but I'm not the kind of person that when I get done, I go, oh, God, he's driving me nuts. In my mind, I'm like, that is there's two ways that people can compliment you in life. They can take your ideas and use them. It's like, wow, I can't believe that guy would take my content and strengthen himself with it. What a huge compliment, right? But the other thing is when people have to mock you. And why is that? Uh, okay, I want to say something about that, Rare Rare. That's really awesome. So when someone comes along and they're swinging at you like that, guys, there's two reasons people focus on you in life. One, they like to see success in others. Two, they're jealous. They're jealous. I'm really sorry this cork sniffer guy's jealous. You know, wished I could help him out. But, you know, don't let those people slow you down because when they try and come and knock your little sandcastle down, you know, it's kind of like as you're building your sandcastle anyway, you were thinking of a better way to build it. So someone knocks it down, you just keep going. Don't even worry about them because they're the ones that really fuel your fire to success. Um, and then the last thing about like forgiveness, you know, whoever this person is, you know, I have a good idea who they are. He knows that through these different channels, I can't prove who he is, but I know I saw that word from another guy a while back. He's one of the only people I've ever heard use that word regularly, so I kind of know who he is. But here's the thing, you know, if he called me and said, you know, I just want you to know, I apologize for that, I'd say done. And I wouldn't even revisit it in my videos because it's drama. And so guess what? This is what I'm going to tell my viewers. Get ready because I'm looking at some equipment and it's going to give a nice variety feel to the show. And we've got a really good giveaway coming up. And so just follow along. And we're going to have a lot of giveaways over time. So anyway, is there any questions on the Lyman All-American 8 and what we just loaded? And a lot of guys, they asked me on the Lyman All-American 8, they were like, well, um, uh, you know, how's this work on it? How's that work on it? You saw how it ran. It's a great little piece of equipment. And any questions? Any questions on anything? Gil Johnson, thank you, Highboy, for you and your channel. When I started to reload, I found your channel and I have followed it since. It is my go-to when I need to a refresher of it, of if I am starting a new caliber. That is awesome. Gil Johnson, I appreciate that. You know, a long time ago when I was doing my channel, I felt kind of like on my live streams, I thought, what I thought of my channel and the repeated live streams and the repeated how-to videos, I thought, what a dumb channel. I do pretty much like the same thing over with little different variations. I thought, no one would want a channel like that. Then I had a guy come back shortly after that and say, dude, you totally refreshing me. I needed it. Thank you. And I thought, yeah, no, this is a good thing. It's a very good thing. Okay, Midway and Mid-South Shooter Supply have Lyman sales going on right now. That's awesome. Now, just so you guys know, in the description box below, you'll see bit.ly links. If you can get it more affordable through Brownells, if you use those links, we get somewhere between 2.5% to 5%. I don't know how they break that down, but it all goes to content for the channel, and it goes to the forum, and we appreciate it. Okay, Jack, hey, wouldn't trimming all the cases to uniform length give? Okay, Gil Johnson, or Jack A, that's a good question. Uncle Caffeine. I'm going to answer that. Oh my gosh. Uncle Caffeine. I'm going to make him cry when I answer this. Jack, yes. My dad used to uniform all his cases by trimming them. My dad was a lot like Info Brothers, very methodical, and he would get so upset. My dad would trim his 44 mag cases, and if you over trimmed them, he'd turn them into 44 special. When he trimmed too short there, he was all pissed off, right? Well, one day my dad, I came over and he says, you have never trimmed a pistol case in your life. I said, yeah. I said, it's insanity. And he looked at me, he said, you're right. All the years I've sat here trimming my cases, I could have just grouped them up or averaged them out. I said, yeah, that's what I do. So it depends on how precise you want to be. And then, yeah. And so it's all about how precise you want to be. If you want to trim all your cases, I say like more power to you. If you want to say, hey, you know what? I'm not looking for any amazing precision from case to case, and what I get is sufficient enough. I say absolutely. Edison Rodriguez, trimming and annealing. Well, I would only anneal rifle, and really, it's not bad to anneal. If I had an annealing setup, I would anneal more rifle. I don't know if I would do my 223 because there's such high volume. And the thing with my 223 is it's so violent on the cases, they don't last long anyway. Kind of like my M1 Garand 30-06. I don't know that I would spend time annealing too much on that, because if I was loading up sheer accuracy rounds, that would be one thing. But like, I know some guys with their M1 Garands, they're shooting, out to 800 yards. Then I could see that. But kind of for what I do, my cases get ripped up on my .6, so my M1 Garand. So I'm not going to really anneal those. I'm not going to spend that time. So it just depends on my 300 PRC. Oh, absolutely. Those will be annealed. I'm looking at doing 243 in the future here. If I get the component, I will be annealing those cases if I can get set up for it. So handgun, never. Not in a million years. Not in a million years, okay? That's right, Michael Hartnick. So, Uncle Caffeine. Okay, Uncle Jack A, I kept my 308 for AR and bolt totally separate due to case life being less with, yeah, that's exactly right. For my bolt action 30-06, I could stand to have those annealed. M1 Garand, not unless I was competing for accuracy. Uncle Caffeine. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to show you guys this. Hang on. Kimber Ghost Shadow in 45 ACP. I know where one of them is right now. That's just driving me nuts. So Patriot Paul, yeah. Oh, I knew that would bring tears to your eye. Patriot Paul is asking, hey, hi boy, nice job as usual. What is the big difference between the Lyman and the Redding turret? Which do you like better? I don't go there. I don't go there. My channel's not a review. My channel isn't like, this press gets a 10, this one gets a 7. I can't answer that. As soon as I say which one's better, then what if I said, well, I think this one's better, and next month I change my mind, right? So there's no person that's going to really, and they're different price points, right? I just had a guy save $200. So how do you put that? So just, if you want to know, I would say buy both of them and try. But past that, you can see how it works. I have videos with the T7, and just respectfully, I'm not going to be that guy. Thanks, brother. Bear. I want to buy something CZ. Info Brother says, nice choice, hi boy. Thank you. Okay, some of the F-class guys claim they can make a box of 20 rounds last the entire life of the rifle with annealing and get 20 to 30 reloads of that one box. That is like 400 to 600 rounds. That, in my opinion, for annealing, you're going to get more life and better case fit. So that's a plus. M1 Garand is chewing it up so bad, like the third time it's done, it's out of there, right? So it depends on what you want. Okay, I don't know if that's if this Ghost Shadow comes in 10 millimeter. Can someone look it up on my phone? I'm not real fast. I only saw it in the store. I was like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to buy it, but I got to kind of wait. Might have to be a Christmas present. Uncle Caffeine, what's your next purchase? I'm just sitting here staring. Okay, Uncle Caffeine. As I am in California, it will have to be either a Kimber or Springfield, which both are very nice. I love my Springfield. I think Springfield rocks, just flat rocks. Those things are tanks, literally tanks. Grab Tyree pistol first, but a CZ22 rifle. Madman Reloading. I'm waiting on a new Smith & Wesson 41 mag. Okay. There's the link. If anyone wants to jump on, we can do a live stream panel. Yeah, I like I got one 1911 and 9mm. I would have thought that I would have never really cared for that, but I really like it. I think the 9mm in the 1911, it's it's great. I love it. Okay, 47 Cavalier is going to come on. Ooh, Merton Siliker. I have 4 guns coming from estate sale. Marty Mack is waiting on a Henry 3030. Mac man, he buys very, very high-end quality stuff. I have an appreciation for that. I kind of I'll tell you what I think about like money spent on equipment and firearms. I think it has to match the job you intend. You know, for like me, extreme long range precision, you know, I tend to lean towards Redding in that, but that doesn't mean that you can't. That's not the only way. That's just that's just where I lean. Doesn't mean that anyone's better than the other, right? Okay, we'll see you, buddy. Walter, have a good day. But kind of like the firearm fit the job, the amount of money into it versus what you want to do, right? Okay, so Uncle Caffeine, I'm not seeing that Kimber in 10mm so far. But I do know a 10mm. This is called the Kimber Rapide or Rapid. I don't know. That comes in 10mm. Go look that up, Uncle Caffeine. Kimber Kimber Rapide Rapide. I want it. Period. End of discussion. Gotta have it. Check it out. And guess what? We got 10 Cavalier on. Hey, brother.
What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd have a live stream going on today. I missed you yesterday. I've been working, 20 some odd hours every weekend and overtime. So
yeah,
I got to work again today. That's all right though. Pays for the toys.
Am I getting feedback? Echo?
Nope, I hear you fine.
If I do, let me know, okay?
All right, yeah. Ooh, I got some toys today or the other day.
What'd you get?
So I can get my camera on it. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I got some more coming too. Some pistol stuff. Oh yeah. Early. Gotta stock up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things are getting harder to get in a timely manner. So.
Okay, so as far as components, okay, where about in the country do you live?
I'm just north of Seattle.
Okay, so what do you see for? Let's start with bullets. What do you see on the shelves?
I mean, it's just kind of. I see some 30 cal stuff, a little bit of like big bore stuff, like some like 450 Bushmaster type stuff.
That's what I'm seeing.
I'm
seeing a lot of.
I've seen some 9mm.
A lot of 22 caliber here.
I haven't looked for that. I haven't been in any of the local stores in a couple weeks, just because of my work schedule. So, what else have I seen? Oh, Extreme Bullets is really cranking them out for bullets themselves. I've seen those quite a bit. I've seen a little bit of powder. Primers, yeah, no, not really. Trying to think, what else have I seen? Equipment. I've seen equipment and parts and stuff. A lot more abundant than I did a couple months ago. So, but I do a lot of my stuff, a lot of my shopping online. So,
yeah,
it's because of my work hours and the times that the shops are open.
Right. Well, while we're here, keep them entertained. I got a package that I'm going to open, and I'm going to open it live stream. It's my primers. That's I haven't opened it yet, so I'll open them.
Oh, speaking of primers, I am seeing them online. If you're wanting to spend the money, I'm seeing them online a lot more. I know Midway has a drop. They drop primers almost every morning right now.
But even on Sundays?
No, not on Sundays. I don't really see component drops on Sundays.
Well, I don't really plan on buying too many primers online. But when I saw that Vista Outdoors had a price increase, I went ahead and I bought 2 packs at $75 a pack.
Yeah, I missed out on a drop from Graphs. I was actually messing around with my Discord app, and someone was posting a drop from Graphs. They had I can't remember the brand name. It was a foreign brand name, but they're selling them in 5,000. Like, you buy a case, and after shipping, taxes, and hazmat, it was like $68 a box. So I'm kind of kicking myself for not grabbing one of those, but I got quite a bit. I got enough to last me for a little while.
Yeah, I see you have a guest in the background.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Hi.
Awesome. Hello.
Where is it? Where is it? Put it.
That's my little helper. She got herself I told her no rifle for Christmas this year. Last year she got herself a Henry 22.
Oh, nice. She's wanting another one, huh?
Yeah.
Good for her. Okay, so
Where did I put it?
there you go.
Somewhere.
Let's open this bad boy up. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my goodness.
It is Christmas early.
Wow. Nice. Woohoo! That's crazy. I haven't been that anxious or excited to open a package. It's sad that we live in a world that those right there would be that exciting.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Go ahead.
I was gonna I mentioned that I was gonna the Lyman sales, and just the other week I was thinking, I'm waiting, maybe we'll have a Lyman sale come before Christmas. I was thinking about getting myself one of those All-American 8s. I've been thinking about getting one for a while. I should have grabbed one last year about the time that Andy did, when they were like $150.
Yeah.
But I didn't know much about it at the time. I didn't really know. They hadn't been out for very long. And so I didn't do it. So I was thinking, maybe I'll get one for Christmas. But I just bought a scope for my Grendel rifle I'm putting together. That was a Vortex Strike Eagle. So I'm like, I guess the press is going to have to wait a little while. And then there's a sale, of course, right?
Yeah. You have a guy asking what shop in Seattle area has primers.
I don't know. I'm up north, so there was a shop down, I think, in Linwood. They were kind of on the news for a little while. Well, probably must have been at least a year and a half ago when they were doing all that 1639 and all that garbage going on. I'm not sure if maybe they had. I'm trying to think if they had components down there too, but they were still getting shipments in. So, but that was a while ago. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if maybe they're still involved in that kind of stuff. I don't know. That was down in Linwood. I don't know anything down in Seattle. I didn't even think they had any shops in Seattle after they had done all their taxes and everything like that. Everybody just kind of left. And then the city of Seattle didn't get their money like they were hoping to.
Crazy world, isn't it?
It's crazy. This is definitely not the same place. Same country I remember 20 years ago. That's for sure.
So Michael says, I wish you, no. Michael says, I'm not going to buy primers online until you can get 5K at a time because of all the fees. All right. So after I bought these, I learned, I went over to Graphic Pens. They're only $50 a brick. You can buy an entire case. That's how I'm going to do it. That way, it's a one-time hazmat fee, and you get 5,000. That's how I'll be doing mine.
That's how I'm gonna do mine too. If I could see them for 5,000 a pop.
Yeah. Rare Bear just like 800 to 1,000 is the new normal. Well, I got a place in town here. He's got loads of primers, but he's asking around $200 1,000. That's ridiculous.
I don't know if that'll be the new normal. I think the new normal will probably be closer to 50 because you can still find them for, $30 if you go in the store. They're not advertising that they have them, but you go in, if you just walk in, you can find them for $30. But I think the new normal will probably eventually be around 50-ish.
Yeah, that's what I think. And then like your match will be, $1 more, 100.
Yeah. Well, they got, I think it's in Wisconsin, they have 2 ammo plants that are either under construction or they're almost ready to rock and roll. And I think one of them was supposed to be a primer production plant.
And what companies are these?
That was not disclosed.
What's that?
That was not disclosed.
Okay, I got you.
So, and that information was put out about a year ago. So, I think a lot of it right now is just moving the supply. I think there's supply out there. You can't move it like everything else right now in the country. You just can't. Nothing's getting moved. I mean, people are just letting stuff sit and go bad, and because they don't have anybody to move it. Yeah, I have a buddy that's a truck driver. He's a sole proprietor. He's got his own business. He's just a one-man show. He just picked up. We had a guy here in the area that just retired, so he bought a bunch of his trailers. He's got national companies calling him up, offering him work because they have no drivers. He's like, I got so much. He's like, I can work for many years right now with that and not have a day off. He's like, there's so much work out there right now that I can do.
Well, I got a guy right now that good friend of mine. He's got a friend that he's looking for a couple guys to drive truck on the weekends. These guys could make some serious money driving the truck. I mean, like serious money. And
yeah.
I said I'd be interested. So he's going to actually talk to us, and so I might he needs someone for a weekend. So I told my buddy I could drive one Saturday, him drive the other. So we're going to check it out, see if we can do it. I'm for making money.
Yeah, I was mentioning to him when we were just chit chatting away. I was like, oh, maybe I should learn how to drive. You can teach me, or if we go into Mad Max times, I'll be your gunman. I'll be your co-pilot.
Oh, there you go. Well, you're not all going to tell on me for getting into the Halloween candy, are you? My wife's not here. And what's the chances of her watching this live stream 1 hour and 46 minutes into it? What's the chances?
I don't know. Your wife, she's pretty reliable on watching your live streams. You never know. She might be lurking.
I want you to know I'm the boss. I'll go get something. Hey, keep them entertained.
Now I know you're bull crapping.
What?
You're never the boss. You're never the boss. I'm never the boss.
You keep them busy for 30 seconds. I'll eat something. You want to see me eat something? I'm not afraid. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You keep them entertained.
Ooh, here's something. Has anybody tried any of this? Some new coffee. I don't know. Has anybody ever tried the Minuteman coffee?
You guys want to see something?
I would drive a primer truck for a good discount, right? Ooh, I won't tell. I got this.
What's yours?
Some of the Don't Tread on Me coffee from Minuteman coffee.
Oh, nice.
Out of Natchez, Washington. They got to support the local guys. Yeah, I'm going to give this stuff a try.
Okay. I'm going to eat these candies. They're my wife's, but I know where she hid them, and she'll never know if 2 or 3's missing. How's that for being the boss? But don't tell her, okay?
I won't tell her.
But I want you to know I'm the boss.
Does she count them where they already opened?
What's 3 missing? They're truffle.
I just gained like 5 pounds looking at those, so. Thankfully, my wife's not a big chocolate person. That's good. Keeps me honest.
No, my wife and I, we love chocolate, and I love Pepsi Cola. I don't drink a lot of soda pop anymore, though.
Nah, I don't either. I used to be a big Coke person until they. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. I cut way back. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy it sometimes, but
I've been drinking a little bit more root beer lately when I do have any.
when we go out and get a burger, my wife and I, we get root beer. We love root beer. Victor, you're asking for trouble. Well, then I'll have another one because I'm the boss. I know what I'm doing, guys, okay? I drink a lot of coffee. A lot.
I usually drink it at work. I don't drink it really at home. Just because of time of day. I work graveyards, so I had to cut back quite a bit because I was drinking way too much coffee. My gut just wasn't handling it.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been the coffee too. I mean, it was wasn't the best quality coffee in the world. But when it's at work and it's free, you drink it, right?
Yeah. Matt Man says she's going to have your crown jewels and put them back in her purse. Nope. Nope. All I got to do to my wife is just say something really sweet in an innocent way. She's home. Hey. But I am the boss. I want you guys to know ain't nothing happening on this channel. That was close. She wants to see her mom in the rehab.
I was gonna ask, how's the mother-in-law doing?
A little better, you know, a little time. Yeah, Patriot Paul. Well, we weren't doing anything. Yeah. Too funny. So what do you got going on today, buddy?
I just go in for about half a shift here in a few hours. I just got you were already an hour into the stream when I woke up.
Oh.
So I just flipped you on while I was just sitting there checking some emails and stuff and got up. So just a short shift today. So today was kind of an optional. They're letting me kind of do putting in hours on the weekends if I want. It's optional. It's if I don't want to work, I don't have to work. Just let them know. So
yeah,
we're just we have to fill holes. We don't have the personnel. We're short a person on the night crew. So I told them I'd probably work at least one full shift on the weekends and then maybe pick up a half a shift on the other day. So I usually work a lot of overtime this time of year because everybody's taking PTO.
Yeah.
But since we're down at least one person, it's kind of turned into mandatory overtime. But, you know, pays for the toys.
Well, it's really amazing how it's hard to find help with COVID. And what's happening is people that are on the unemployment, they're putting the applications out there because they have to, but they're not showing up for interviews. Mm-hmm. Actually, lately some have, but when they don't show up for the job, they accept it, they don't show up. And I just don't know how they can do that and get away with it.
I don't know. My wife is running into those issues. She's slowly starting to get some people back, but I think we've only had, that I heard of anyway, one applicant in the last couple months. Last year we were like, we'd have 4 or 5 deep, you know, and we were turning people away because, you know, we were just trying to pick the best applicants, and now it's just dry. We're on a dry spell. I think a lot of people are just kind of waiting to see what happens with the injections they want to give, you know, what private businesses are doing. Yeah. So our company a year ago said that they weren't going to require it, but that was before, you know, we all know what's been happening. So
I won't take
they haven't made a comment. They haven't said anything about it yet. So they're headquartered up in Alaska. So I think that might be some of it, but we're here working in Washington. So we're contracted here. So we kind of fall under the Washington laws, but I don't know. I got everything. I'm going to do everything I can to not get it. That's where I stand on that. And my wife is doing the same thing. So thankfully, with our religious backgrounds, we qualify for the religious exemptions, and they've already had one court case over a federal judge ruled that no, you have to allow medical exemptions because that's First Amendment. So they ruled that on behalf of a bunch of healthcare workers. That's a federal court too. And then you have the head military chaplain, I think, and he said no, we have to allow medical exemptions. So just kind of going and rolling with the punches. So
I absolutely won't take it. Neither will my wife.
You've had it. You shouldn't have to take it at all.
Yeah. Here's the truth. Once you've had COVID, any different strain of COVID is only a 0.03% variance. So all my body has to do is fight that 0.03%. There ain't no way I'm going to let anyone put anything in my body that isn't trial tested, but even more so, is being pushed so hard by our government. I mean, that right there just reeks to me.
Yeah, well, that's not just us; it's other countries too. There's, when they're pushing that hard, that instantly should tell you no.
I asked my wife. I told her this. I said, "What if it comes down to them telling us they will cut us off from all of our personal finances and close our bank account?" She agreed. We just get in the truck and drive off somewhere. We will not do it. We don't take our home away, whatever. No, I'm sorry. Can't do that. And then they can't make us. They can't. And I don't need a religious exemption. Think about it. Why would I need a doctor's approval or a religious exemption? There's nothing in my United States Constitution that says I'm a free choice. Just if I sat down in front of my employer, which my employer is not for it, so I love that. But if my employer said, "What's your reasoning for not taking this?" I'll say, "Because I don't want to," and that's backed by my First Amendment.
And your Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
Not to mention others.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be really interesting to see where it goes. I was thinking, this, and I had someone tell me just to hold off for a while, but I was going to start getting something going where I could use my forum as a place for people to come to get a movement going to people can band together. Because like, okay, on my forum, I don't have Google ads. So Google can't really put algorithms on what people say. They can join and kind of watch, but they can't dictate what I allow people to say. So if I wanted to put a little sub forum in the middle of my forum for people that wanted to start a wave of a movement against taking the jab, I thought of doing that. It would be a great idea. I just don't know how to initiate and get it rolling.
I think there's a movement going, though. I mean,
there is.
There's a lot, and it's nice to see a lot of bigger corporations are finally standing up for their employees and saying, "Yeah, no, we're not going to do this," or at least allowing their employees to stand up for. I mean, you look at the Southwest, and then Boeing. We have a whole lot of Boeing employees that are out doing it, and there's other major corporations that are allowing their employees to protest or speak their minds about it and not be hurt by it. Then again there's other companies that have if you don't get it, we're going to add $200 to your medical insurance, or you're going to get doc pay or whatever. Hey,
we'll see you, Edison. Have a good day, buddy. Well, I just think that we are. I think that we'll have enough resistance on this. I do. That's why my buddy said I would hold off on your forum, because there's, like you say, there's enough going on right now that people are starting to wake up and they're saying no. I think there's
it's a worldwide movement right now. I mean, we're probably one of the last ones to rise up about it and complain about it. You look what the French have been doing for the last year.
Right. I'll tell you guys something funny. Our mother-in-law, she got the shot last year in the nursing home. And everyone on that end of the family thought she should have it. I never thought she should have, because she had an immune system like a cast iron kettle, man. I mean, nothing would make this gal sick. I mean, she grew up in the Depression, never washed her hands hardly. She just had this incredible immune system. So they gave her the shot. Well, when she broke her hip, they drove her all the way to the hospital. They only had record that she had the first shot, not the second. And they had to go back to the nursing home where she was staying, or the care facility, and they verified she had both the shots. So they updated her records. But my question is, they keep toting how many Americans percentage-wise have had the jab. They don't know. They're pulling these records out of nowhere.
No, at work they had a day or a couple days where they had, and it's not even your doctors that's giving it to you. It's some random Joe Blow that no, I can't say that. It's not right. It's, they're not doctors that are giving you the shots. They're licensed phlebotomists, basically, where they're allowed to, they have the training to give the shot, right? Because you go into the doctor's office, at least I know if I go to my doctor's office, they're going to tell us, oh, you need to go to one of the clinics. But I digress. I don't even know where I was going with this. Now I lost my train of thought.
Well, we're talking about, they don't even know the true percentage of Americans that have had the shot.
Yeah. So at work, they're pushing it, not mandatory, but they're saying, hey, we have a day here. If you want to get it, come in. It's free, blah, blah, blah. Well, one of my coworkers, he got it. They lost the records of like 100 people. So we ended up having to get it a second time.
That's terrible.
Crazy. I'm like, what the heck? It's like, yeah, there's reasons why.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, did well, if you don't want to answer this, you don't need to. So has your mother-in-law had the vid yet? Or she just got the shots?
Not that we know of. If she had caught it without it, it wouldn't have phased her.
My in-laws got it after they've had their shots. And there are people I've talked to that were like so amazed. Are you kidding? How could they have gotten it? I'm like, I've been telling you about this for a year and a half, how it actually works. People are lying to you.
Yeah. Well,
but they're okay. They're okay. So
I'll tell you one. I'll just tell you this. I know a guy. He takes federal contracts worldwide. To be able to do that, you have to have the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
He knows over 10 federal contractors like himself that died from the vaccine, but they will not expose it. He called my wife and I, and he told us that. Oh, I'm good. But I wasn't eating your candy on screen.
Oh, that's why you have sweet bill.
Oh.
This was blueberry pie.
She brought me blueberry pie, and I didn't eat her candy. I'm not saying that. I just don't feel like blueberry pie right now. Dang it. I messed that up.
Yeah, you did.
So he calls us and says, yeah, I'm really worried about this. Over 10 federal contractors have died from this shot. But they won't put that out, right? So, yeah, it's really dumb. I have a friend, and he had 2 of his family members who had the shot. They were deathly ill, went into ER, but then a third person died from the COVID, and they had the shot. So there's 3 people there that had the shot. 1 died, and 2 got very ill and had to be admitted into. But all the news reports is all the people that are in the hospital because of COVID didn't have the shot. But yet he said, no, both of my relatives had the shot, and they both went in with. But the reason think about it. If the hospital didn't know my mother-in-law didn't have the shot, how are they going to know anyone got the shot? They don't know. So
it's all big money and power grab control. It's pretty disgusting.
Yep.
It's pretty disgusting. It's
very disgusting.
I'm just glad. I'm glad we still have our tools, because look what's going on in Australia,
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's the only reason why that hasn't been enacted here.
Yep, absolutely. So just so everyone knows, I'm trying to get live streaming through on Utah Gun Exchange where we can talk more open like this, and we can explain what our tools are for without being my channel getting shut down. So go to ugetube.com.
Have you heard?
Huh?
Have you heard of Getter? Gettr?
No.
So it's kind of one of the new hotnesses, I guess. It's kind of like the Twitter, an alternative to Twitter, and they're getting huge. Like they're getting big time, and they're working on their streaming platform right now to be another outlet for everybody. I mean, I've seen every walks of life on that forum. So just an idea, just another thought. This one's actually being pushed nationally. So
cool.
Something that's big. And the guy that started the company, he used to work for President Trump, and I can't remember what his position was, but he was pretty high up in the chain of command with President Trump. So when after President Trump got banned off of Facebook, YouTube,
is Getter a video or is it like a Facebook?
It's like a Twitter, but they're expanding it because they're just going incrementally. They're working on their video streaming right now. I think he said before the end of the year it'll be up and running. GTR, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, we're going to go ahead and wind it down. I want to go see my beautiful wife and see how her morning's going with her mom. So I want to thank everybody for following along. Keep an eye on my channel. I'm going to have some amazing content coming. It's going to really expand. You're going to see, I will let everyone know. You'll probably see the Lee Loadmaster come on. I'm looking at that. That'll give me the Lee single stage in their Loadmaster. I'm really looking at bringing the Hornady lock and load back on, possibly the Hornady iron press on, and a little past that, the mech. So just different varieties of things, and the Forester.
I thought you got rid of your lock and load.
This is their upgraded priming system.
Oh, okay.
So I and the my machine I didn't really have any problems with mine until it wouldn't seat past flush. But what I hear is that's kind of rare. I've only heard like maybe 5 people have had that problem.
Yeah.
So I thought, I wouldn't mind giving it a try again. So
I almost got one because of your videos. And then I kept watching all your stuff, and then you started getting your Dillons, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just going for Dillon. I'll just spend the extra money, saved a little bit extra, and just got my Dillon. I got
just so you know, I wouldn't get rid of my Dillons. I love my Dillons, and I love your Dillon, But I thought I always like.
I like all the colors. It's all good.
Yeah.
They all have a place. I got a Lee in the corner there. You can see the powder measure.
Yeah.
Right there. They all have a place.
Yeah. So I just thought, my wife says he thinks he gets away with stuff, but I know. What?
She's probably got cameras hidden in the house.
What? I wonder how she knew to come home right at that time. I'm kind of wondering what kind of spy system she has placed in the house. Calvin blew it. Laugh out loud. Confessional time to Miss Highboy for Highboy. But I got to tell you guys.
Hopefully no one gives her the timestamp video.
I found this bag of Halloween candy, and a mouse just got into the corner of it. You can see it's ripped. It's like something was just going back and forth. So
maybe a raccoon.
Could be. So anyway, Yeah, follow my channel. I'm looking at bringing some good equipment on, and just more variety, and that'll just bring more people in, and be a good.
That's exciting.
What's that?
So that's exciting.
Yeah, I think so. I'll be honest with you guys. When I was telling my wife a while back, I said, man, when we get the house paid off, we might want to go play more. So I told her, I said, I might let the channel just kind of wind down. But now it's kind of like we're going to ramp it up harder, and it feels really good to spearhead it that way. So that's what we're going to do.
I remember when you were talking about that, I was sad. I totally loved your videos, and you said, nope, we're gonna do more to the channel and invest a little bit more in time in it. I was honestly really happy.
Yeah.
I love your videos. I love it.
Well, I appreciate
I can just turn you on and run you in the background if I'm just, loading and just kind of listen. Even if it's an old one I've already seen, I'll replay them. I mean, I do the same thing with like Elsters. I have him on I have his videos running. There's a couple other reloading channels. Johnny's Reloading Bench. So you three are like my go-to if I just need something to play.
I'm humbled. I appreciate that, brother. I really do. Thank you. Okay, so guys and gals, can you read all the comments there, Cavalier?
I gotta look at two screens here. Yep, I can see them.
I want everyone to type I love colors, because we're going to get a lot of colors on here, and 47 will call you out. Andy.
The candy bar's not mine.
Oh, sure. Now you back.
1927 is out, and Uncle Milty's out. Infro Bros, he's out. Uncle Caffeine and Michael Hartnegg, they're out. Marty Mac 63, Victor Torres are out. Andy Z79 or 79Z28 is out. Patriot Paul, Lev W, they're out. Calvin Noble, he's out. David Goldberg, another one close to home. He's out of here. Critter 9A, Daniel Jones, they're out. Reb Tyree. Oh, there's another comment. All right. MacMan 39 Reloading. I love colors. He's out. True. Reb Tyree, I love colors. He's out. I think that about does it.
All right. Jer Bear Tactical. Me and Jer Bear, we're going to put a live stream together. And so stay tuned, guys.
I'm just Technicolor. You know you're old when you remember what Technicolor is.
Okay, so here we go. I want to thank everybody. Follow along. I'll have more content coming out throughout the week, and I got a Bible study coming up. So here we go, guys and gals. That's it, this video. God bless. We'll see you on the next.
See you, sir.